Hello, everyone. In today's episode, I'm going to be touching on how you can learn to enjoy the game of life and to take yourself out of level one, but to play this in a manner which you are enjoying this process. You're healthy, you're confident, you are calm, you have it all together. So, if that interests you, some of the more crucial aspects to life are health and fulfillment. And fulfillment it's derived from inspiring others or having a powerful meaning for doing what you do each day. See, the trouble that robs people of joy and sort of drains their life source, their energy from them, is when a human finds themselves doing a career, a job, some sort of daily process, which it's like soul sucking. And this is unfortunately what many people are dealing with. And the thing is, we have an opportunity. And if you are willing to commit to pursuing your passion, understand it will take 10,000 hours or it won't be easy. But that being said, the counterintuitive nature of the mind and life goes somewhat like that which is easy is not worthwhile, usually. And the hard things in life, well, scarcity transitions into value. So, with those paradoxical sayings, when you hear them, it's like, it's a game. Again, that's why I start this episode with that concept, because whoever crafted this thing up, it's tricky. It is not simple. And I think that's exactly what makes it worthwhile. Because if you've ever played a video game, think about it. If it was so easy, then it's not entertaining. We want challenge. So it's interesting. Like, you can catch yourself complaining and being upset, but if you reframe, if you look at it through a different lens, a new fresh angle, you can say, I wouldn't be having fun anyways if this was simple and easy. So I think that that's very helpful to consistently remind ourselves of. The opposite of fulfillment is sort of when humans are stuck chasing things that they do not control, things that are outside of your locus. And if you understand that, well, seeking approval from others, that's not something, it's not worthwhile. That being said, rather, we can value the opinions of a select few. See, I don't say things in extremes for the most part. I'm more so speaking on terms of averages. So if you are looking to get your self-worth from being liked by everyone, you're asking for suffering. But if you have a close circle, and these people, well, some of them are consistent, some are understanding, some are your business partners, etc. They have different qualities, traits. You understand less is more. There's a big difference between having 100 acquaintances and then having 10 close-knit, real, truthful, understanding, deep connections. So that concept, less is more, it can be so generally applicable. And then when we touch on health, we were speaking on fulfillment. When we touch on health, I'd break it down into two categories, which are physiology, your physical body, and then psychology. But this being said, the mind and the body is so tightly correlated. For example, if you do something physically that is, let's use porn, for example. I'm not here to shame anyone. My direct experience is feelings of guilt or shame that are derived from doing that action. And therefore, so you did a physical action, but then it links to your psychology. You do something, and then now your thoughts are wiring on a lower frequency. So that's just a quick example of the mind-body connection. But for another example, you eat processed junk food, that will lead you to have low frequency thoughts as well. Or, see, here's the tricky part about processed food specifically, is there are certain low frequency actions which directly they lower your observation ability. So therefore, it's like you're not even noticing that your thoughts are wiring on a negative or uncomfortable, lower frequency. And the only way that you can absolutely get clear and actually start to make a change is sort of to kind of like either hit a rock bottom or have a life-changing experience, which is, oh, I cannot continue this anymore. And that's the tricky thing. I don't want to say some people are too far gone, but the reality is, if you are numbing your emotions, your mind is always foggy because you're consuming processed food. It's like these people don't even realize how much better they could feel. And that's a challenging reality. And what I've learned personally is you can bring a horse to the river, you can try to tell someone something, but if they don't want to listen, if their mind is closed, we can't change people. And that's something, the only reason I go here is because it is upsetting. It pulls at your heart when you see someone who you care about, or just in general, someone who is suffering, who is sabotaging themselves and causing their own misery. But this being said, we can't force them to improve. So what can you do? What you could do is lead by example to become such a powerful, inspiring, high frequency, energetic being that it just spreads. Like they can't help but look at you and be like, what's up with this person? How are they looking and feeling and doing what they're doing at such a high level? And see, that's just like, you could take that from any religion. And this is a side tangent, but the truth of this is that all religions have some value, and people who are stuck with this religion is right, my religion is right. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. Like, boy, every religion has some inspirational truth. And if you have an open mind, you'll realize, okay, we have many mountains in this physical world, right? So we also have many routes to each mountaintop. Therefore, you can learn so much from so many different people, even the people who are numbing and foggy minded and addicted and just poisoning themselves daily. These people you can learn something from too. It's all about the perspective that you look from. And what do I mean when you can learn from those sort of people? Well, you can learn how you don't want to be. You can have a conversation with them and learn about how they see the world, and then it's like, oh, whoa, people see the world like that. Wow, I see the world like this. That's interesting. Not judging them, rather just observing, taking note that, so humans, we all have that foundation, which is we're human, but the nuance, the depth of each individual can drastically change. And this is also interesting because the truth is that there are many universal principles. Therefore, well, let's give some examples. Universal principles as you have high quality sleep. This leads to high quality energy. You consume high quality inputs, high quality energy. See, the foundation to life is energy. And if you can learn how to get the most out of your 24 hours and to charge yourself. See, I love the battery analogy because, well, your input leads to your output. There are humans who are either draining you or charging you. There are activities which either drain or charge you, etc. So looking at it through different lenses, using some nature analogies, some technological analogies, is powerful, because then you have so many different ways of viewing. And it's important not to attach to any one framework, but to just be open and say, okay, this, and it reminds me of this. And yeah, it's interesting. I mentioned this earlier, which is the worthwhile things are usually challenging and the easy things are usually unhealthy. I'm talking in terms of averages. But what I want to say is we need an anchor. And what this anchor can be is turning your pain, your trauma, what has challenged and hurt you in your life, into your purpose. Not in a narcissistic, foolish way, but let's use an example. My father, not the man that I wished he had been. So therefore, I say, well, okay, that hurt. And this is me healed. In my past, it wasn't this simple. But me healed, I can look at it as if, oh, this is what caused him to be a certain way, which I do not want to be like. Therefore, I'm going to absolutely not partake in that sort of stuff. And also educate people, lead by example, show them who I would have liked to had as a father. Therefore, I'm acting and living my life in a manner which is quite the opposite of him. And you see, I forgive him truly, because it's interesting to realize, wait, and again, this is easier said than done, but I've realized, well, holding a grudge, it hurts me. It hurts me. It doesn't hurt him. So why not forgive and learn how to say, honestly, he wasn't the father I wished I'd had, but without him doing what he did, I don't know if I would have had the internal flame that I have operating right now, allowing me to speak with this passion that you can hear. So, it's a reframing game. We have options, we have decisions in every single moment. Something challenging happens, something uncomfortable happens, you can find a lesson in there. And when I say the word uncomfortable, it reminds me of this truth, which is uncomfortable emotion is actually amazing. Do you know why? Oh, thanks for asking. Because uncomfortable emotion, it shows you where you need to go. It gives you an idea. It is telling you that something in your actions, your feelings, your thoughts can be changed. That's all it is. So, but that's taking it from one lens. You see, the victim mindset lens, you already know what that is. It's more so, this is happening to me. Why is life so hard? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And see, you can take the same exact situation, look at it through two different lenses, and you get two different outcomes. And one is demotivating, and the other is absolutely powerful and inspiring. So, perception is truly just mind-blowingly powerful. When I go into reframing, I don't want to make this seem easy, because it takes time to reprogram the mind to unlearn your past conditioning. And this being said, one of the areas that we can truly go into is, what are your habits? What is your lifestyle? How are you reminding yourself of the direction that you're headed? See, I have a timer set every 2 hours, and it's simply to keep me locked in and prevent me from overthinking and falling out of a peaceful state of being. So it is this quote, this truth, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. Doing this video, speaking, reminding myself, writing for my newsletter, which this video is based upon, reminding myself. You get the theme. So it truly comes down to your lifestyle. And this is just how reality works. See, each decision that you make is a vote for who you want to become. So I guess a powerful question that has helped me so much, and it might help you, is, what's your alternative? Like, if you don't continue or commit to your vision, if you quit on yourself, what's your alternative? Because trust me, days are not easy, especially when just you're in the phase of the exponential curve before it goes up. And you gotta understand, I have to understand, that we need that 10,000 hour vision, that if we persist, that is how we get where we want to go. And something, in my office, I have some canvases, some quotes, just inspirational messages to keep me locked in, and something that I have to tell myself consistently almost every day. Me and one of my closest friends, we say this: we are headed the right direction. Because anyone who thinks that overnight success just happens like that, no. The people who you see who are truly successful and inspirational and who impact you positively, for the most part, these people have put in thousands and thousands of hours to get to where they are. So it's all about learning how to enjoy the journey. And this comes from changing your perception, realizing, I could look at it as if I'm so far away, oh man. Or, well, I am committing to myself. I am not going with the flow. I am being unique, sticking with my passion, and pursuing fulfillment and health and the things that are truly important to creating a fulfilling life. See, notice this difference in the words. If you're not paying attention, they sound the same: rich, wealthy. What's the difference? To me, rich, you could be miserable, depressed, have a horrible relationship with many different people and be rich. Or wealthy, you can have the opposite of what I just said: beautiful relationships, super health, and money. See, financial freedom is a freedom from the mind and the system. It's not just having money, but actually having this peace, this calmness within your heart. And that is generated through doing something fulfilling with your energy, being intentional, strategic with how you invest all of your moments. And I can't emphasize this enough. And pay attention to the nuances in life. Rich and wealthy, big difference. Why not? I'll just list off some life-changing habits. I don't want you to adopt these like all at once. It won't work that way. But if you, this system, which would be subtract one negative habit, replace it with one healthy habit. If you want, just jot some of these down. Morning focus would be breath work and meditation. And there's many forms, many different strategies of meditation and breath work. You can research, go with whatever you want. DM me on Twitter if you're curious. Daily cardio, weights, and agility. So personally, this comes in the form of boxing. I like boxing more than running. Do some kicking. I kick the bag. That's more entertaining than running. And then weights is just brilliant. You know, it burns calories, makes you feel good, and you look good. Like win-win-win. Do those things that are win-win-win. Reading and consuming long-form education. What you're doing right now. And then just, I would recommend go to some of your favorite people and check out their book list, like Jordan Peterson, Leo Gura, Dan Koh. I'll share some books with you if you're curious. Prioritize healthy nutrition, which means that you are sourcing your animal protein ethically. Huge difference between a grain-fed cow who was factory farmed, lived a miserable life in an enclosed area, versus a free-range pasture cow who lived on grass and, actually had friends, cow friends, man. Big difference right there. And same thing with your eggs. If you're consuming eggs from free ranging chickens, same thing as what I just said. You don't want to support the factory farm stuff. It's just, see, it comes down to energy. And if the energy of the cow or the chicken is, fearful, unhealthy, and enclosed, you're going to get that sort of frequency from consuming the food. This being said, I feel that grain-fed, I'm not even going to go there. Not worth it. Prioritizing healthy sleep. Something I realized lately, see, I smoked weed for years and I didn't realize what it was doing to me on the negative aspect of sleep quality, because I was like, well, weed's better than alcohol. It doesn't mess me up nearly as much as drinking alcohol would. But I just did not realize it, and I don't know how exactly true. I can't convince you that this is true, but maybe if you're at all curious about how I can speak this way, if you feel something from my vibe, well, I'm being honest. Weed is not the worst thing in the world. That being said, if you want to get to your top peak energetic frequency, to be as powerful, strong, confident, clear, and focused as you possibly can be, you just maybe consider not smoking weed for like 2 nights and pay attention to how you feel when you wake up on those 2 mornings. Not at all telling you what to do. Just, it's helped me a lot. And besides that, writing a page a day. See, getting your thoughts out of your mind is taking a ball of yarn and unraveling it. That's a good one, Justin. And so it's truly up to you. Like, no one can do the work for you. You can listen to this. This could make you feel good. But if you do not take practical action after listening to something like this, it's not truly that helpful. Let me say this though. It's still more helpful than numbing yourself, than hanging around average individuals. So I'm not here to guilt you into into feeling, because you don't take action, but we need to understand that our habits create our future. So maybe adopt one of those habits. What's one habit you know you need to subtract and replace? Answer that for me, please, a paragraph. And when do you think you are wasting time and slowing yourself down? Answer that for me, a paragraph. Thank you. Don't bullshit yourself, please. Don't bullshit yourself. Be real, be authentic. And so the truth is that I can't work with everyone, and it's not work. What I am aiming to do is to find and to link up with the people who are right on the edge of breaking through their glass ceiling. And they know it, they feel it. See, you need to feel it. But if you at all resonate with that, if you want to feel calm, collected, powerful, healthy, clear-minded, and simply take your energy to a new level, then shoot me a DM on Twitter or drop a comment here. If anything, just like the video. But I would love to hear from you, because I'm not going to be doing this forever. It's going to be a couple year span where I have this offer, and therefore, I would say scarcity is value. It's not going to be around forever. So if you feel that you resonate, just reach out and we'll see. We'll take it from there. I appreciate you tuning in so much. Have a great day.